What would I do if my business had a Bud Light moment? And by a Bud Light moment, I mean something that has spiraled in a way that wasn't anticipated. And I think most of us can agree that whatever's happening with their marketing strategy right now, given the news and the press, this was not a controlled or planned strategy. This was a marketing effort that was done that has now had unintended consequences. If they intended to completely reposition the brand and go to the market differently and perhaps look for a different customer base, we would have expected some type of different communication than just a launching of an advertising strategy. So the question becomes, what do you do in your business if you have a Bud Light moment? If something unintended happens, maybe one of your employees jumps out ahead of something and says something that you didn't wish they had said, or maybe you get positioned a particular way that you didn't want to be positioned. What do you do in a Bud Light moment? Well, one thing you need to do is rally your team together and figure out what's going on. And you need to get back to your core values, what you are, what you stand for, and you need to communicate. And that's something that Bud Light, number 2 on this list, is communication. And it's something that Bud Light's struggling with right now, right? They're not out communicating. Nobody knows what's going on. They launched a strategy. Customers are angry. There's piles of video on TikTok and YouTube and everywhere else. People are expressing frustration. People are pouring the beer out. People are not buying Bud Light, supposedly. At least we've heard that from some bars and restaurants that sales are down. All of this is happening and we're hearing nothing from them. So you've got to control the communication. Figure out who you are. Figure out how to control the communication, get out ahead of this, and start communicating with people. These are scary times in business, and I know a lot of people, when they're scared, they like to shut down. You can do that for a moment to reflect and understand. You don't want to act on pure emotion, but you also need to get out there and communicate. There are people that love these brands. Budweiser, Bud Light, and others obviously have a lot of value in their brand. People see those cans and they buy them, they like them or they dislike them. And to not communicate is going to cause additional difficulty. So you need to think about that and get ahead of it. So if I had a Bud Light moment, I'd be getting my team together, I'd be figuring out my communication strategy, and I'd be rolling out, re-engaging with my customers, explaining what happened so that they don't feel uncertain about who we are, what our brand is, and what that means. How would you handle a Bud Light moment in your business? Go ahead and drop me a comment. Let me know. Make sure you remember that comments on a social media channel like this are not confidential. Other people will see them. Anything confidential, reach out directly, of course, to your attorney, where you'll likely have attorney-client privilege. And, of course, I hope you subscribe to the channel so we can bring you more content that will be helpful to you in the future. I'll see you soon.